We call the meeting to order. I'd like to ask everybody to stand for the prayer led by the White House Heritage High School coach, Rich Lopez. And then remain standing for the pledge. Thank you.
Let us pray. Father, we come before you tonight, Lord, as a city. We ask for your guidance. We ask for your blessings. We ask for you to lay your hand on the leaders of the city, allow them to continue to make the right decisions for this city, Lord. Father, thank you so much for providing this great country that we live in and giving us the opportunity to meet and freely talk about you, Lord. We pray this in your Son's name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mayor Corbett?
Here.
Alderman Matthews?
Here.
Alderman Silver?
Here.
Alderman Spicer?
Here.
Alderman Wall?
Here. Need to adopt the agenda. Do we have a motion?
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of the minutes from the June 20th Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting. Do we have a motion?
There is a correction.
All right.
For the roll call, it has Mayor Corbett and Alderman Silver is absent. We were actually here last month.
Oh, okay. You were there.
Good catch.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was from the previous
I
one.
led the pledge, so I had to.
I'll correct that.
Thank you.
You made a motion, yeah.
Okay, so we have a motion to
Motion to correct,
approve this corrected.
to approve the corrected
Okay.
previous.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'd like to welcome all of our visitors. Packed house tonight. It's good. We've got one proclamation to do tonight for the White House Heritage High School baseball team. You guys want to come up and kind of line up along the front, coaches, players? Whereas the White House Heritage High School baseball team finished the season with a record of 29-8, and whereas the White House Heritage High School baseball team won the District 6 2A championship and Region 3 2A championship, and whereas the White House Heritage High School baseball team made it to the 2A state tournament in Murfreesboro for the third straight season, and whereas the White House Heritage High School baseball team won 29 games and claimed district and region titles in the same season for the first time in program history. And whereas the White House Heritage High School baseball team consists of the following players: Logan Newton, Asbiel Benitez, Cole Ellis, Dane Henshaw, Caden Wagner, Max DeHaven, Caleb Fike, Ryan Greer, Dominic Malik, Caleb Casey, Nolan Keefley, Camden Payne, Nate Dixon, Xavier Murray, Eli Gregory, Tyler Zeligman, Cameron Jackson, Alex Malik, Jude Griffin, Justin Smith, Deacon Thompson, Parker McFarland, Carson Forsyth, Jonas Talbot, Stephen Rutherford, Corbin Goodwin, Dre Williams, some of these are not easy, Landy Williams, Nolan Phillips. And whereas the White House Heritage High School baseball team is led by head coach Rich Lopez, assistant coaches Chance Beck, Jeremy Newton, and Chris Logston, and manager Zeke Anderson. And whereas on behalf of the citizens of White House, we congratulate them on their success this 2024 season. Now therefore I, John Corbett, as mayor of the city of White House, and on behalf of the entire board of mayor and aldermen, do hereby recognize the White House Heritage High School baseball team for their athletic achievement and for their commendable representation of White House. Witness whereof I have hereto set my hand and caused the seal of the city of White House to be affixed on this 18th day of July 2024. Congratulations, guys.
And they did this all with their head coach leaving in the middle of the season. So, good job, guys.
Picture. 3 years in a row. It's impressive.
Yep.
Great job.
Congrats, guys. Congratulations.
public comment. We had Dolly P. signed up, but did you still want to speak?
Yeah.
Okay, come on up.
I know y'all heard from me a little bit. I'm saying this because I went on public record that the Honey Run Creek issue that's going through many subdivisions, including mine, is a real issue. And I know you're aware, and I know it's being worked on. But from the different things I'm hearing, everyone kind of gets different responses when they call the city, depending on who they talk to. So, I just want to see it become a priority. I know there's TDEC involved. I know there's a lot of things involved. We've got a lot of things we're approving here that cost a lot of money. But I don't see anything about the stormwater. So, that's all.
Thank you, Don. We have two public hearings tonight. Ordinance 24-07, an ordinance amending the municipal code, Title 18, Chapter 3, sewer rates, fees, and charges, Section 18-301. We'll open public hearing. Nobody has signed up to speak, so we'll close it. Ordinance 24-08, an ordinance amending the municipal code, Title 8, Chapter 2, beer, Sections 8-207 and 8-214. We'll open that public hearing. Nobody has signed up to speak to that, so we will close it. Communication, Alderman Wall.
Just to reiterate a little bit on stormwater, Dolly, we're working steadily at that. I promise. I know we've spent a lot of money tonight, but believe me, that's all I've done for 2 months is talk to Public Works, stormwater, and you know, it's an overwhelming project. What are we currently at 150 projects, complaints, issues, things of that nature. So we are not taking it lightheartedly. It is constantly on our minds, and they are working steadily towards getting it done. So it's just not going to happen overnight. We're trying to prioritize what we're doing, how we're doing it, when we're going to do it. So it's going to take a lot of manpower and a lot of time. So if the city could just bear with us, it's just a lot on us right now. So, but we are. It's definitely priority one right now. So.
Alderman Silver.
I have something that I received in the mail regarding a grant for recreational areas. It's coming from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Tennessee. They have for governmental, nonprofit. I have the literature brochure here, so I think maybe if nothing else, we can apply and see, get more funds.
More funds is always good.
More funds.
Yeah, Kevin probably. Okay. Alderman Matthews.
I would like to thank Craft CPA for sending out this memo to us last month. It's just a letter that they send out opening up two-way communication with the board. They're an independent audit firm. I think it's good that they open that dialogue up early and often. And so they've started our audit, I guess, commenced it, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, good. Mayor Spicer.
I know stormwater is an issue, and we have worked very hard to recognize areas. Isaiah and his team have worked hard to do that. So I just want to let everyone know it's not something that we're not looking at. It is priority number one, just like Mike said, and we are following up with city employees to make sure that things are being done so that responses are matched across the board going forward. Thank you.
Yeah, I think we're all getting phone calls and all trying to address this. I mean, I think we're gonna approach this the same way we did with the roads. I mean, we identified where the issues were, put a plan together to address it, and now we're gonna execute it. So we're in the process of collecting all the information. Isaiah's team is doing a great job prioritizing. You know, we got some people that are just getting water in the yard, some people that are getting 2 feet in their house. I mean, so we have, you know, we're gonna prioritize those and I think spend the better part of the next year or two hammering those as hard as we can. So appreciate Isaiah, your team, and all you guys are doing. So thank you. City Attorney?
I have anything.
City Administrator?
Just to emphasize again what you're all saying, we are working on it. I've looked at the list, the long list of projects that we got to work on. Obviously, our priorities have to be people that have taken on water in their homes. That's gotta be our highest priority, and we'll continue to work on that. I've met with the representatives from MTS today to talk about, a little bit about stormwater issues. I'm meeting with, at the end of the month with a team of representatives, to discuss any possible grants that they may have available to us, to see if we can, do some improvements in infrastructure, or if we need to purchase some properties that need to be, where homes are located, probably shouldn't be located too close to a ditch line, or like I said, in an area that takes on a lot of water. So we're looking at that. We did have some money in our budget this year for, to purchase something, and so I'm looking at expanding the Coastal Road project, which is a pretty high priority for us, where we had one property already, a team that gave us a grant for. We're trying to see if we can expand into it, and we're in the process of it now. I've already had it surveyed, property descriptions has been developed. We're probably making an offer here pretty soon on a parcel to see if we can expand that particular area to enlarge the pond area so that we can take on more water in the case of a future event like we recently had. So the other thing that I gave you was, I just handed out to you, the Tennessee Comptroller did give us our equalized property tax rate. It was a little bit too quick. I tried to get it, maybe possibly do an amended agenda, but finance looked at it and they had some things that they had to go through before they could put it on the agenda. So it will be on your next month's agenda. I just wanted you to look at the current Robertson County rate, which is 82 cents, and the Sumner County rate is $1.33. With the new tax rate, Robertson County goes up by 2 cents, almost 2 cents, to 83 cents. And then Sumner County went down by 50 cents, which is what I said would happen in the equalization part of it. So it did just drop quite a bit. We had enough growth that it looks like to cover the transportation loan. We initially thought it was going to be around 17 cents. Looks like we can get it at 6 cents. So we'll be bringing that for you for that increase of 6 cents to cover the amount for the budget for next year, which we have to have passed. So we're working on that. We'll probably present that in August. I don't think we'll need a special council meeting. We'll see how that goes with our August when the ordinance for that first reading. If we have to do a special call meeting, we'll do one. But I think we can probably do it for August or September and be done with it. Take care of it. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Need to acknowledge the reports. Is there a motion?
Motion to acknowledge and file the report.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. No resolutions tonight. Consideration of the following ordinances. Ordinance 24-07, an ordinance amending the municipal code title 18, chapter 3, sewer rates, fees and charges, section 18-301, second reading. We got a motion?
Second reading, I say motion to approve.
Okay. Got a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Alderman Matthews.
Aye.
Alderman Silver.
Aye.
Alderman Spicer.
Aye.
Alderman Wall.
Aye.
Mayor Corbett.
Aye. Ordinance 24-08, an ordinance amending the municipal code title 8, chapter 2, beer, sections 8-207 and 8-214, second reading.
Motion to approve.
Okay, got a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Alderman Matthews.
Aye.
Alderman Silver.
Aye.
Alderman Spicer.
Aye.
Alderman Wall.
Aye.
Mayor Corbett.
Aye. Ordinance 24-09, an ordinance amending Article 4 and Article 5 of the zoning ordinance concerning permitted uses and special exception uses, first reading. We got a motion?
Motion to discuss.
Second?
Second.
All right, Ceges?
So we've had a number of vape shops going in, I should say vape shops, smoke shops going in different locations, and some of those don't come to planning commission. They can retrofit and go into a space, and I thought it'd be a good thing to maybe look at those by case basis. Also use car lot. There's some locations that they can go in, and we probably need to look at those like storage units, which is a special exception. But I will say that it's not like it's a ban. They can go in industrial, as I laid this out. They could go in I-1, I-2, I-3 locations. But the special exception, it gives the planning commission, board of zoning appeals, a way to look at the properties. So I thought this would be a good ordinance to put ahead of our zoning land use regulations being updated, which this will be placed in the new regulations as well. One thing the planning commission did ask is that I had it for 300 feet away from schools. I did 1,000 feet away from schools at the request of the planning commission. And that's for the tobacco shops.
Right.
Steve, have we thought about adding, gas stations to this also? Because, you know, we get a lot of feedback where gas stations are being placed in our city in locations where we have a lot of traffic already, and
I thought about that, and as you say that about gas stations or any other commercial businesses that sell vape shops, I ran this up the chain to some other planners to make sure we weren't doing anything against the law, but or being more restricted. So if a new store, convenience store, were to also sell this, it would not prohibit that. But to answer your question as it relates to that with gas stations, I don't think we could really push that button to be able to. I mean, we could if you guys requested it, but I think it may be met with legal challenges. But I can look into that.
okay.
I think we'll open ourselves up for a lot of scrutiny if we're not careful. Now, there is one thing, since we're making changes to that, the adult entertainment option that is in our zoning. Is there a way we can eliminate that?
I don't think we can do that. Yeah, there is some case law.
As we're growing as a city.
If you have to look at the specific reading on that, be careful what I say here, but bottom line is it would be very, very, I don't even think they can do it, just bottom line. The way it's zoned.
I read it today, and it's very short.
Yes.
And then the distances that you have to be from, it pretty much, we have to have it to be in code, but it's there.
Yeah, you can't eliminate it.
I mean, it pretty much would have to be over by the truck stop.
Yeah, it has to be an industrial zone. You can't eliminate it.
Okay, we can't eliminate it all. Okay. So,
Okay. Any other discussion on this one? Got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ordinance 24-10, an ordinance amending the zoning map from Robertson County R20 low-density residential to C2 general commercial at 2813 Highway 31W, first reading. You got a motion?
Motion to discuss.
Second?
Second.
All right.
Mr. Gable approached our office about rezoning this from R20 to the C2. He doesn't have any plans as of yet. He had a neighboring property that rezoned to commercial about a year ago, and he just wanted to, figure this would be the best use for that property, which I did agree and make the recommendation that we do look at commercial because that's one of those uses that benefit the city.
All right. Discussion on it?
Motion to approve.
All right. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Purchasing. To approve or reject City Administrator Gerald Herman to acquire by purchase or condemnation of rights of way on a portion of land owned by several property owners for the Pleasant Grove Intersection Improvements Project in the amount of $189,597.23. City Administrator recommends approval. Our motion.
Motion to discuss.
All right. Second?
second.
Strong?
Yes, this has to do with the Pleasant Grove Road, 76 intersection. We've identified 6 parcels of land that we need to acquire in order to make the road widening that we need to put the turn lanes in on 76, so we put traffic signalization there. So as always, we have to obtain right-of-ways and relocate utilities that may be in the way, and that's the process we're in right now. Valerie's been negotiating with the landowners, and this is what we came up with. We've agreed upon a price, and we hope to get all this resolved. So we've got to get this moving. Hopefully get these signed. We have one, we're kind of doing a swap of land with, in the situation we have. But we hope to get all this done so we get this project out to bid within the next couple of months.
Good. All right.
So did you get appraisals done on these, or you said they were just
Yeah,
negotiated?
Usually I try to go with what I think is going based on what I check on. We'll get into appraisals if we need to get into condemnation because that gets pretty expensive doing the appraisals on each one. And so we ended up going back and forth. This is where we ended up with. We think this is settled upon. They did their own research and brought a lot of comps that they had came up with from their realtor, and we think this is something that we can do to get this achieved and get it done.
Was this included in the project estimates? Did we
Yes,
have?
yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other discussion on this one?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Great. Second?
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject for City Administrator Gerald Herman to sign an agreement for CSR Engineering for construction and administration services for the North Palmer's Chapel Road widening project in the amount of $24,594. City Administrator recommends approval. Got a motion?
Motion to discuss.
Okay, second.
Second.
All right.
Yes, sir, we're gonna go through these, I think we have at least 5 of the 6 projects in this, that I've had Jason working on certain aspects of them, our city engineer, and, he's already got the project ready to go, it's out to bid right now. This is for the construction engineering portion of where they do inspections, make sure it's all being done correctly. Some of it he's got a limited time he can do it on the Mondays that he comes in because of all the other things that we do. But, and then for his company to go out and do those, and then you'll see that in some of these different proposals that he offers. He gave a list of all the different things I'll be doing, and so that's part of it. So, this one's just about ready to go. So as soon as, this will just be for, once we get the bids in, and we get a contractor on, this is what he'll be doing as far as doing inspections.
So he has 6 different proposals they're providing to us this evening. So as far as availability, 5 Road and then the waste lift station, I mean, is he confident that his firm can handle this workload and stay on schedule?
Yes, sir. Yeah. And yes, every Monday when I meet with him, I'm always asking where you're at with it, making sure that they're making progress as they go. And they've been pretty successful so far in keeping up with us.
Okay. And then some of these, they're wanting lump sum payments up front. I'm not sure if this one was one of them, but I saw the other ones, they were wanting lump sum payments. And especially for a large project, one that's going to span over several months, my recommendation would be to pay as you go.
Yeah, we've always paid him as we go. If that was in there, I didn't catch that, but yeah, we've always paid as we go. And
yeah, here's one lump sum payment.
But we don't pay everything
lump
up front. It's usually, he does a portion, it's like monthly, we pay monthly.
Okay.
All right, other discussion? All right, got a motion?
Motion to approve?
That was
Second.
coming second, all right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject for City Administrator Gerald Herman to sign an agreement for CSR Engineering for engineering services for the Sage Road widening project in the amount of $39,894. City Administrator recommends approval. Got a motion?
Motion to discuss?
Second?
yes, sir. This one is just about completed with design work. Just finishing up that. Jason, I've talked about it. He asked me if we go with the original plan, which was to widen and have shoulders without the sidewalk. And we think that's the better route to go at this point, so that we can be on target. If later on, if we have extra funds that we have available to us, we can go back and try to add the sidewalk. Not, as we get all 6 of these projects, I want to make sure we have enough funding. But that one's almost ready to go, and that's why this is mostly going to be the inspections when it gets going. But he does have a little bit more to go on the bid package to get it out for bid.
And we've got enough right away to add the sidewalk later, right?
Yeah, we've added. Yes, we do. Yes, sir.
I had a question from one of the residents. Are they going to upgrade the stormwater infrastructure with this road improvement?
There will be ditch work, that's all part of it, yeah.
Okay.
If we would add sidewalks, we would have to have piping, but right now the plan is to have ditch work along the road.
Exposed ditches then?
Exposed ditches, yes.
Okay.
Got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject for City Administrator Gerald Herman to sign an agreement for CSR Engineering for construction administration services for the Pleasant Grove intersection improvements project in the amount of $42,220. City Administrator recommends approval. Got a motion?
Motion to discuss?
Second?
Second.
All right.
I'm looking at that one.
D.
How do we have Pleasant Road specifically? Make sure I got these roads. Pleasant Road for the purchase of the property. That's correct. This is going to be continuing. They're almost done with the design work with the Pleasant Grove Road one. So this is, again, getting it into inspection services when they're putting actually the road into place.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject for City Administrator Gerald Herman to sign an agreement for CSR Engineering for engineering services for the Callista Road Widening and Sidewalks Project in the amount of $192,210. City Administrator recommends approval. A motion?
Motion to discuss.
Second.
All right.
Yes, sir, the first three that we've talked about already are projects that are gonna be able to go fairly quick, and hopefully we're gonna get them done in this fiscal year as far as completing. This Callista Road project is gonna be a little more challenging. We've already started doing survey work out there. There's gonna have to be, utilities are gonna have to be looked at, possibly moving utilities. There's gonna be, obviously sidewalk, we're gonna be looking at purchasing probably some right-of-ways along that route. So for the first year of this, you're gonna see a lot of design work being done and starting to move towards getting properties. This is gonna take us into the second year, maybe even into the third, before we get that completely constructed and done. But we're gonna be moving towards it, and that's why that price is the way it is on that one. So the full services of what they committed to, from design to bidding to construction inspection.
Still well within the 3-year timeframe for all these road
Oh, yes,
projects.
sir, yes, sir, that's the plan.
One of the things that I would like for the engineering firm to look at, I think we've discussed this previously, when they look at the design, is if they can incorporate any traffic calming into the design. And I think that's a good idea for all the roads that we're widening that are straight shots and they're not, there are no curves. Widening these roads, I think people are probably just going to go faster. It's going to be safer, but I think the speeds will increase. If they can,
about that.
All right, we got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject for City Administrator Gerald Herman to sign an agreement for CSR Engineering for engineering services for the US 31W and Marlin Road intersection project in the amount of $128,350. City Administrator recommends approval. Got a motion?
Motion to discuss.
Second?
Second.
Yes, this is the Marlin Road intersection. We think it's going to be very similar to the Pleasant Grove Road one. We think we can get that designed over the next current fiscal year and then get into construction the second year on that one.
Okay.
That's what we're thinking on that one.
Got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject City Administrator Gerald Herman to sign the memorandum of agreement with the U.S. Census Bureau to conduct a full special census in the amount of $581,267. The Administrative Services Director recommends approval. You got a motion?
Motion to discuss.
Second?
Second.
Derek's been handling this one, so I'll let him discuss it with you.
So the special census, as stated in the memo, we originally got a quote for $473,000 roughly. That was based on a number on a form that we submitted to them to get the initial quote. In a meeting in June, kind of discussing what we're expecting and kind of kickoff dates and all that stuff, they brought up that that number, the housing units, was lower than what they had in the 2020 census. So when we dived into more, it is significantly higher than the 2020 census. So that increased their costs, because essentially what they're budgeting for is going door to door to every single house. So it's not going to happen, but so with that, their fee increased to $107,000.
So we undershot the number of houses.
Correct. So $107,000 is increased to a total of $581,267. We budgeted $500,000 to do this. So I'll be cutting other capital projects that I was budgeting for, like the new digital signs, some Christmas decorations and stuff like that to make up for that.
This one is a lump sum, so
Yeah.
we talked to them specifically about, hey, can we send you some now and then some later, but they're adamant that they have to have a lump sum.
We will not get results until fall of 2025. So we were hoping to pay the initial $473,000 up front, and then the remaining $107,000 at the next budget year. But they wanted everything up front.
So-
But this will have a significant impact on funds that the city receives once the census is complete.
Yes, so we're estimating between 16 and 20,000 people, residents. Right now, the census said we were around 13,000. We get $175 per resident. So 6,000, let's say 17,000 people, that's a difference of 4,000. So 4,000 times 175 per year, additional money that we can get. So according to MTAS, we could look up to about $800,000 a year until the 2030 census.
Over the next 5 years.
Yes.
If we don't do it, we'll be still collecting what we currently collect.
Yeah.
One of the things I noticed that was odd is that they're gonna require us to provide the laptops, desktops, monitors, printers, and barcodes after paying this
Yeah.
price.
Yes.
So what we were gonna do, so we have a training room upstairs. We were going to, that already has computers and everything. We were gonna see, if we could just use that, because it's already in a loft space. We just had to buy the scanners and the printers and the barcode scanner things.
They
So
want
we're
us to
hoping
use,
those would be minimum.
They want us to help recruit local people to be part of the census takers. They want to have a kickoff day of April 1st, I think is what we.
April 1st would be the initial, where they will have an online form that they fill out, that they submit, like 2020 census, where they fill that out. It'll be a month and a half process for that. And then starting in June, July, they will start going door to door to.
So we're just basically paying them the $500,000 to put it together? They're not actually doing it?
Well, no, they're doing it.
Oh, they're doing it.
No, they're doing it all.
They're going to use the money that we give them to hire the census takers.
Okay.
Local.
Yeah.
Because we said volunteers, but not volunteers, right?
No, we're not, no.
Okay.
We're helping them, so basically when they're ready to, when we get the approval and we go through the kickoff meetings and stuff like that, they'll tell us that we need to start advertising that they're hiring.
Okay.
So there'll be like
Because they won't
hyperlink for us
to
on our
the county.
website that would send them directly to the Census Bureau
Yes.
for applications to fill out.
Correct.
Okay.
So basically, we're gonna spend $581,000 to basically net out an additional $4 to $5 million until
Right.
the next.
Yes, there's one of the few things that the
Yeah.
government does that I guess we're going to make money on.
Yeah.
I want to make sure we understand.
We're hoping, if everything goes well, we'll get our return within that first year.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, more than good.
Yeah. More,
Yeah.
All right, any other discussion on this one? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Okay.
Nay.
Motion carries. To approve or reject single source requests for EnviroScience for toxicity identification and reduction evaluation testing. The wastewater director recommends approval. We got a motion?
Motion to discuss?
Second?
Second.
This is the final vendor that we have for our sole source requests for this year. EnviroScience is who we've used for the last year or two. All other vendors that we've dealt with previously that did tie tree testing in this region have either closed up shop or they no longer carry this particular service. If we switch to another vendor outside of this region, we run the risk of basically getting outside the hold time for samples, and it can invalidate the results of the testing.
So is every other city basically using the same?
To my knowledge, yes.
These guys are in Mountain Juliet.
Yes.
Got a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject the purchase of a Kubota U17VR1 compact mini excavator from RJF Kubota off the Sourcewell contract number 031121-KBA in the amount of $29,499.43. The wastewater director recommends approval. Got a motion?
Motion to discuss?
Second?
Second.
All right.
This is the compact mini excavator that was in our proposed capital budget for this year. This is within budget.
Okay. All right, we got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject for City Administrator Gerald Herman to sign an agreement in the amount of $81,500 for CSR Engineering to develop, or to design the replacement for the Wilkinson Lane lift station. Wastewater Director recommends approval. You got a motion?
Motion to discuss.
Second.
Second.
All right, so this would be the design phase services for the replacement of the Wilkinson Lane lift station that we've discussed previously. This is well within the budget for the year. We set aside dollars for both the design phase as well as the property acquisition. This does leave us, we believe, adequate dollars for the property that we will need for this project.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject the purchase of two 2024 Ford F-350 XL chassis cab trucks from National Auto Fleet Group off the Sourcewell contract number 091521-NAF in the amount of $165,444.48. The wastewater director recommends approval. Got a motion?
Motion to discuss.
Second.
Second.
These are the two utility trucks that we had budgeted for in this year's capital purchase. Sourcewell is the state contract pricing. This is under budget.
Thank you. Got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject the sole source purchase of two Bush RC0630 vacuum sewer pumps from Airvac in the total amount of $55,473. The wastewater director recommends approval. We got a motion?
Motion to discuss.
Second.
Second.
All right.
So these are the spare pumps that we discussed that were within the capital budget for this year. This is over the anticipated budgeted funds that we would need. We were gonna have to do basically a core swap on an older unit, and we were gonna purchase one outright. The outright purchase came in much higher than previous quotes that we've had from previous years for it. However, the savings that we have on the other capital projects are enough to cover the deficit.
Motion to approve.
All right, second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject the change order from Norris Brothers Excavating LLC for installation of Phase 5 of the new Southern Force Main project in the amount of $1,243,380. The wastewater director recommends approval. Got a motion?
Motion to discuss.
Second?
Second.
All right.
So Norris Brothers is the company that we had hired to conduct Phase 4 of the Southern Force Main project. That carried it basically from the intersection of Sage and Cardinal to the intersection of Cedar Brook and McCurdy. Phase 5 picks up at the intersection of Cedar Brook and McCurdy, and it goes to the roundabout, the previous cul-de-sac end of Cedar Brook Drive. This concludes the upsizing section of the Force Main project. All the pipe that was getting a bigger pipe to replace it. It will allow us to continue as a seamless project with the same contractor. There won't be any mobilization or downtime. It does save us on mobilization, demobilization fees. For the most part, Norris Brothers has honored unit prices that were in the Phase 4 bid as well. Where there were changes, it was largely to do with where there was a slightly different product that was needed in this phase versus the previous phase, different fittings, things of that nature. Or the unit prices were different, such as traffic control needs being different, or more amount of EPSD measures and things of that nature.
At TDEC, we had a conference call with them on this, because I was concerned about the first, we thought that the money that they had set aside for us, the $1.3 million, would be able to be used on Phase 4 completely, but after we got into the details of it, it was like it's a certain percentage, 60-40% a grant. So in order, and they looked at the scope of the work that we had, and they said, yes, you can use the same contractor as long as the pricings are stable, and continue with it, and then we'll be in Phase 5, we'll be able to utilize the rest of the $1.3 million. I would like to say that I did get a call yesterday from our county commissioner, who's worked diligently in trying to get us some of the county funds that they have from the American Recovery Act, and he was able to get $250,000 into the budget. The budget hasn't been passed yet, but if you know anybody on the budget committee, or anybody on the county commission you think you want to give a call to on the Sumner County side, we'd like to be able to pick up that extra charge. I didn't even tell you that yet, did I?
I like that news.
$250,000 to help us go towards, it has to be on the Sumner County side, which is fine. Phase 5 is going to be able to help us with that, and that'll help maybe even a little bit more. So all together, we will have brought in almost $5.5 million, a little over $5.5 million from other people's funds to help us pay for this project. So I'm happy about that.
Motion to approve.
All right, we got a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Other business, to approve or reject appointments to various boards and commissions. We got, Elizabeth recommended Ms. Goff for the library board, so, any discussion on that appointment? Sandy, on that board, work for you? Okay. Got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Opposed? None. Motion carries. TEFRA approval certificate of the mayor for Goodwill Industries in Middle Tennessee, Inc. This was brought to the IDB board by Goodwill. It was approved unanimously by the IDB board. I've got, the way I understand it, I've got the authority to sign it. I thought it'd be something appropriate though for the board to discuss before we decide whether we want to do this or not. But, so, I don't know if we want to start with.
Motion to discuss.
Yeah, motion to discuss. We got a motion.
Motion to discuss.
Second. All right.
Yes, sir. This was an unusual request, something we've not seen before come before our IDB. Definitely the first time that the CEO of the city, which is the mayor, is obligated to sign a certificate to meet federal obligations. So we had not seen that before. So Valerie researched it and looked at it, and she had communication with the Goodwill attorneys. And this is something they need for their financing piece. It helps them with their financing in regards to savings, I think, to the bank for the interest being tax free. So that's what we have. So it's up to the mayor to make the decision if he wants to sign a certificate. Yeah, I think that's why he's asked this board to take a look at it and to see if that's something they would support him signing. As he mentioned, the IDB did unanimously say that they were okay with it, but it's really up to the mayor to make that decision.
So what happens if the project doesn't actually get completed? Who's on the hook for the money?
Well, nobody's on the hook. I mean, the city is not on the hook. It's all Goodwill. They are getting a loan from Pinnacle Bank, and this just enables Pinnacle to give them a lower interest rate by taking advantage of some tax savings that Pinnacle will have on the interest they receive on their loans. So they're able to be able to give them a lower interest rate than they would normally give.
Goodwill represents a
Yes, Goodwill
questions of them.
I kind of understand it. It's sort of like co-signing for a loan, but without the obligation to pay for it, or in the event of a default being.
I don't believe you're co-signing, right?
No,
We're
it's
not
not.
providing liability.
We don't have a liability.
No, it's not. It's not what it is. It's sort of like that. It's like they're using our position as the IDB to get a tax break on it.
I mean, because, you know, under the Tennessee Constitution, everyone has to be taxed the same.
Yes.
So this is kind of
Workaround.
what will happen is a workaround. Yeah. So the IDB would issue a bond, but really it's a fictitious bond. It just allows Pinnacle again to make it's not a fictitious bond, but it's.
So we sign, but the city signs the bond. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would love to hear it, because I do commercial banking for a living, and I've done some of this stuff, but I've not heard of this, so I would love to know who's here to represent Goodwill.
Just state your name for the record.
Wendy White.
And I'm Alex Buchanan, I'm a lawyer in Nashville, but bond counsel for the deal.
I'm the VP of Finance and Accounting at Goodwill. I'm a licensed CPA. I've looked at our records over the last 20 years. We've used tax-exempt bond financing on 8 of our buildings. We've done it with the city of Berry Hill, the city of Lebanon, just recently in 2023. We've done it several times with Metro, Nashville, Davidson County. Our tax-exempt bond issuances are public information. They're published on our 990, which is available for anyone to see. It doesn't require any repayment by the city. You're not legally obligated or financially obligated. If we were to default, that's an issue between Pinnacle and Goodwill, not the city. We won't send you statements. They won't send you statements. It's not an accounting entry in your books. It's a note on your financial statements until the end of the loan, and that's pretty much it.
Now, I add that the certificate that the mayor signs is just saying basically that this has been approved by the IDB. We can have language that says, you know, the city is not taking any responsibility or have any, you know, monetary, or yes, for the Industrial Development Board for the loan. In that certificate, it's just an IRS regulation that requires the mayor to sign the certificate acknowledging the approval.
Certainly is an odd way of stating it. It's like, revenue bonds from the IDB, which we don't have any revenue to.
Right.
Right.
That's what I'm asking, yeah.
Would it have any impact on our financial statements if we go out and acquire additional debt for the city or anything like that? Okay.
I think there's a note that they said has to be.
Right, it just will be a note in our financial statements, but that's it, just
It won't
acknowledging that
affect our
that's out
ability to
there.
borrow or
No.
whatever if we need to, yeah.
Whose name is the loan in?
Goodwill.
Goodwill.
It's in Goodwill. Okay. So if we didn't approve it, what, financially, how would that affect you?
Their interest rate's higher.
How much higher?
You know, it's not a point difference, but there's a material amount of interest savings by doing this way.
I think that one of the Goodwill representatives last time indicated it was like $400,000 a year.
It's in that ballpark, yeah.
So savings for them, so it's significant.
And Valerie, you've reviewed everything with their attorneys and you
Well,
feel confident that.
So I will say we're early in the process. They have not started drafting the loan documents yet because the IDB needed to approve it. And then, the mayor had, again, this is something that happens a lot in larger cities for different nonprofits, for like, this is used by private schools, by other charitable organizations to get lower interest rates. This is just something new to White House because, we're growing and we're at the point now where we're having organizations that will come to us for these things. So it's not that unusual, it's just new to us. So we're early in the process, but I will review all the documents and make sure that they, I feel very comfortable with them. Then the IDB will have to come back and approve those documents. And then
the language that's in here, this last paragraph, it says our approval, no way are we giving any legal, financial, moral, or other obligation with respect to such of the bonds as we pledge our revenue or credit tax power. That will be in the loan document.
That will be in the certificate the mayor signs, and it is in other places in the loan document. Yes.
Yeah.
And I will say that normally, this doesn't have to go before the board, just the mayor wanted everyone's input before he agreed to sign the certificate. And of course, Goodwill, before they go forward, wants to know that he's gonna be willing to sign it before they go spend money getting documents drafted and what have you.
Is the bond a yearly renewable bond, or is it just for the length of the loan? Okay.
How long is the loan? Did we ever say 20 years?
15 years.
15-year loan?
But we'll have to have notations in our financials concerning this?
There will be a notation, yes.
So there'll be some work on our part to keep it up.
Right.
It just has to be a note.
Just a note.
I don't think it's really, we asked Jason about that, I don't think there's much staff time or anything that's gonna extra work created.
How many jobs do you expect to bring to town?
22 to 27.
You guys, it's an odd question maybe, but sales tax, do you guys collect sales tax on what you sell?
Most of the goods sold in the Goodwill are tax exempt, but we do have goods that are sales tax collected, so you can expect about $125,000 annually from the average store.
In sales tax?
That's correct.
What, I'm just curiosity, what is taxable that's in a Goodwill?
So clothing and shoes are tax exempt.
Right.
So we also sell furniture, household goods, appliances, books, things like that.
Those things are
tax.
Okay, so it's basically clothing. Okay, everything else is.
And those tax exemptions are in the state statute.
Right, yeah, no, got it. Well, they were already taxed once, right? We don't need a vote. I just wanted to get input from you guys and see if there was any support, serious objection.
You could use a vote if you want to show it in the record that you had support from your own council.
Yeah, I mean, does anybody have any serious objection to it?
I understand what's happening now.
Okay, I mean, is it?
As long as we're not on the hook.
Okay.
Valerie is cool.
I do. I watched the industrial board meeting. I went through it, and you know, my concern was liability. And I think this looks more administrative than anything to get the tax benefit.
All right.
And also, just so you know, Goodwill will pay our fee, our cost with respect to this. So, you know, the time that I spend working on this, they will pay for that.
Yep.
So it's, you know, not a cost to the city.
Different than a pilot, as far as I understand, it will not show up on the records either that it belongs to the White House.
No, it won't be in our name or anything like that. It's completely different than a pilot. It's all, other than issuing the bond, we're not involved in that.
Okay.
Do you want a motion?
We want to vote on it, we can.
Motion to approve?
All right, second?
Second.
All right.